Okay. May the Lord give this council the wisdom, discernment and courage to serve the community. Grant also that we may act compassionately and the integrity in the best interests of this shire. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. I would like to show respect and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land and elders, past, present and future, on which this meeting takes place. Thank you, councillors. Welcome to our last meeting of the year, councillors and those in the gallery. Application for attending meeting by video link, Mr GM.
Nil, Mr Mayor.
Apologies, application for leave of absence by councillors.
Yes, I have one from yourself, Mr Mayor, for leave of absence next year between the 14th and 28th of February.
Got a mover? I'll move. Oh, thank you. Move Councillor Shields, second Councillor McPhee. All in favour? Against? Carried. Public participation?
Nil, Mr Mayor.
Nil. Confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 24th of November and extraordinary council meeting held on the 3rd of December. Got a mover? Move Councillor McGill, second Councillor Ryan. Any questions, comment? Oh, all in favour? Against is carried. Disclosure of interest?
Nil received, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Over to the agenda items, councillors, on page 14. 12.1, recognition of length of service of 30 years to Michael Day. I'll move that from the chair. All in favour? Against? Carried. Okay, Michael Day commenced his career with the Murrundi Shire Council in December 1995 as a town services attendant, choosing to dedicate his service to the Murrundi community. In his early days, his main duties included cleaning public toilets, mowing parks, roadside areas and cleaning curbs and gutters during this time. Michael also completed an horticultural course in 2004 following the amalgamation of Murrundi Shire Council and Scone Shire Council. Michael stepped into the role of Murrundi Water and Sewer Operator with the Upper Hunter Shire Council. After taking on his role, Michael completed several technical water and wastewater courses to further strengthen his skills and qualifications, including Part 1 Basic Wastewater Treatment Operations, Dam Safety Operation course. In addition, he has undertaken other relevant trainings provided by Council to support his responsibilities. Over the years, Michael has greatly expanded his knowledge and capabilities in the operation and maintenance of the Murrundi water and wastewater system. His current duties include water and wastewater sampling and testing, daily pump runs with the Murrundi water supply system, Murrundi dam inspections, daily operational and maintenance activities at the Murrundi wastewater treatment plant, daily operations and maintenance activities at the Murrundi sewer pump station, cleaning sewer chokes and repairing water main breaks, assisting the Murrundi town water supervisor and with operational and maintenance tasks. Michael's dedication has been instrumental in providing the Murrundi community with a reliable water and effective wastewater treatment service. Congratulations, Michael, on your success, career so far and your achievements over the past 30 years. Great achievement, Michael. Okay, councillors, I've got a mayoral minute in front and I'll move again from the chair. It's the 12.2, the Bondi Beach tragedy. A recommendation. The council acknowledge the tragic act of senseless violence that occurred at the Bondi Beach on the 14th of December 2025. This senseless attack has deeply affected communities across New South Wales and Australia. Our thoughts are with all those directly impacted, including those who remain in hospital and those who will continue to feel the effects of this trauma in the days, months and years ahead. The fear, distress and heartbreak felt as a result of this incident extends well beyond Bondi and Sydney. Acts of violence motivated by hatred has no place in our society and run counter to the values of safety, respect and inclusion that Australians expect and uphold. In the face of such a tragedy, we acknowledge the professionalism, courage and swift response of emergency services, including the New South Wales emergency personnel, whose actions in extremely challenging circumstances help protect lives and provide urgent care. We also recognise the extraordinary bravery shown by civilians who acted to protect others, reflecting the strength of the community spirit and the willingness of individuals to stand up for one another, even at a great risk. Events like this can have a ripple effects across communities, including here in the Hunter. Residents are encouraged to look out for one another, to check on friends, family and neighbours, and to seek support where needed. By standing together and reinforcing the values of care, respect and connection, our community can support those affected and find strength in unity. Councillor, may I please ask everyone to stand, please, for a minute's silence. Probably what I should do there, councillors. Anyone wish to speak to the motion, or are we quite happy? All happy? Thank you. Okay, councillors, we move over to page 15, is the Corporate Services Committee. Got a mover. Move Councillor Williamson, second Councillor Shields. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor McGill.
Yes, just going through the papers for this particular committee meeting, I have a lot of concern for the confidential paper that was there about Rosedale, and I noticed that the committee has recommended it be referred to Council in General early next year. But in the meantime, I see that some of the suggestions proposed in the confidential document will require a lot of community consultation. So I do hope that we're not going to race forward with any of that recommendation until we've spoken to the people of Murrurundi about what it is that they want. So I just bring that to Council's attention. Thank you.
Councillor McGill, any other questions, comment? All in favour? Councillor Fraser, sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to address Councillor McGill's concern, and that is precisely the reason why the matter has been referred to full council next year, so that all councillors can be involved in the decision involving Rosedale, and there is time for that consultation to take place. And certainly when the matter comes before full council, there can be further opportunity for Murrurundi to be heard in relation to that matter. But the reason why it wasn't dealt with by the committee and went straight to full council was for that very reason, that it required consultation of the whole council.
Thank you. No other questions, comment? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 22, SCR 12.2, Infrastructure Services. Going to move up. Move Councillor McPhee. Seconder, Councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 27, there's 5 points of the recommendation. Got to move up. Move Councillor McGill. Seconder. Councillor McPhee. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? In favour? Okay, motion is carried. Thank you. Over to page 39, the Community Advisory Committee of Aberdeen District.
Through you, Mr Chair, how about the other 4 points?
What have I forgotten?
Do we do them separately, or are we going to...
Which ones?
And the Environment and Community Services.
No, we did them all as a block.
You didn't, okay, because
Yep.
you normally separate them.
Yeah. Aberdeen District Community, going to move up. Move councillor Shields, seconder. Councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor McGill, you okay?
Yes, sir.
Questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against, carried. Over to page 45, the Community Advisory Committee of Marundi. No mover from Marundi. Move councillor McGill, seconder. Councillor Clout, speaker. Councillor McGill.
Yeah, look, just in moving acceptance of those minutes, I would actually ask that they be amended because there's an error in showing Mr George Ferguson as being an attendee, and he definitely was not in attendance at that meeting. So I would be asking that the minutes be amended to that extent, and then I would be moving.
Thank you. That will be certainly noted. Thank you. No more questions, comment? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 50, the Community Advisory Committee of Scone District. Move up. Move councillor Williamson. Seconder. Councillor Stoltz. Questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to 54 is the Community Advisory Committee of Merriwell District. Move councillor Stoltz. Second, councillor Ryan. Questions, comment, discussion? Councillor.
Yeah, just to be clear that we're only endorsing the notes of the meeting because it wasn't formally convened as a meeting, because we're having some trouble with some of the CACs where people are not attending and not giving apologies, and we're not getting a quorum, and it's really a lot of resources are getting wasted on this.
Yes, taken on notice. That's, the recommendation says that, so all good. No more questions, comment? All in favour? Against is carried. Over to page 59 is the Community Advisory Committee meeting attendance. As we spoke about just with Councillor McGill. It's in front of you, councillors. There's a recommendation in front of you. Going to move up. Move councillor Ryan, second councillor Shields. Questions, comment, discussion? Councillor McGill.
Yes, just in correcting the Marundi minutes, it means that there's probably another letter needs to be sent out, but I think the GM's aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you. No other questions, comment? All in favour? Against, carried. Over to page 66. Yep, 66, the Government Place Hospital Advisory Committee meeting. Got to move up. Move councillor McGill, seconder. Councillor Stoltz. Speakers, councillor McGill.
Yeah, just part of the minutes there talk about the Government Place Fete and Pet Show that was conducted. They report to me that they raised some $7,800 for the benefit of the residents at the Government Place. So applause to those people who got that together. It's a great result.
Thank you, councillor McGill. Any other comments? Councillor Ryan.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just a quick comment with regard to that fundraising effort, and just to make it clear to everybody that there is actually a process being put in place, in fact a set of guiding principles around those funds, how they're held and how they're distributed, and that'll be published very shortly, and we'll go back through the advisory committee. There are a number of people asking questions in relation to how that would work, so I think that's quite a appropriate process to go through. So a set of guiding principles will be created.
Thank you, councillor Ryan. No other comments? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 70 is the local public holiday Scone Cup events for 2026-2027. Move councillor Williamson, seconder councillor Fraser. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Williamson.
Under duress. Yeah, I think this is very important that we keep the horse capital in mind here for the Shire. These are an important event that happens annually, and it does bring an enormous amount of people and energy into the Shire. And long live the Scone Cup.
Thank you, Councillor Williamson. Any other questions, comment? Councillor Fraser.
The only thing I'd add, I endorse the comments of Councillor Williamson, and I would add that the responses to the survey in relation to the holiday were overwhelmingly positive in support of the holiday remaining.
Thank you, Councillor Fraser. No other questions or comments? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 75 is the Mid-Coast Council request for advocacy, support, review and ministerial orders in respect to investment policy for Council of New South Wales. We've got a mover. Move Councillor Fraser, second Councillor Clout. Any questions, comment or clarity from councillors? Councillor McGill or Councillor from the movers wish to speak first? Nope. Councillor McGill.
Yes, through you to the GM, can I get some understanding of what it actually means? Because I thought some years ago, during particularly the Newgan Hand period, that local government was restricted in how they could invest their money because people were making bad decisions. So I just wonder if this doesn't open things up again.
Thanks, Councillor, through you, Mayor. You're right. I think it was Gosford Council back in the late 90s was investing in quite high risk investments. Obviously, they had much higher returns but carried much higher risk. At that stage, the Office of Local Government introduced some guidelines, and we have adopted ourselves an investment policy that is in line with those guidelines. It restricts the distribution of investments that you can hold and the balance of distribution and the spread that council can invest in. At this stage, we predominantly invest in very low risk, which carries some lower yield investments, but they have low risk, so we're not at risk of losing our investments. And we continue to follow that policy. However, Mid-Coast has approached us. They are looking at varying that policy somewhat, not to get the same high risk that was the subject of the investigation some 20 odd years ago, but to at least have a greater variation. Whilst we don't intend to go down that same path, and if we did, we would bring it back before council before doing so anyway, we are at least, as a member of the Hunter Joint Organisation, supporting that council's right to seek a variation so that they can investigate whether or not there's investments that are more suitable to them.
Thank you. Councillor Fraser.
The background indicates that it's the intent of the motion that council should be able to invest in the Australian Bond Index, which is primarily made up of 80% government bonds, 20% of presumably slightly more risky corporate type bonds. They're generally considered to be very safe investments. You can, of course, access bond funds which deal in more high risk, lower rated bond products which give you a greater return, but the proposal here is that council should be able to invest in bond funds which are generally considered to be reasonably safe. It's a small step away from your interest rates that you'll receive on a term deposit, and possibly the returns on a bond fund will only be slightly better than what you receive. So in that sense, it is taking a step away from the safe position of a term deposit, but it's only into a bond fund which is generally considered to be a very, very safe investment.
Okay, no other questions, comment? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 79 is proposed installation of a pole-mounted electric vehicle charging station at 126/128 Beddington Street, Merriwar. I'm not sure who will move this. Can I find someone to move it? Councillor McGill.
Mr. Green.
Second that, Councillor Shields. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor McGill. Be disappointed if you didn't.
Look, this was discussed at the meeting that wasn't a meeting in Merriwar, It's a slow charger. It will not bring in lots of customers, but it will, given it's a slow charger for two vehicles at least, they'll be trapped in town. They'll either have to stay the night, or they'll be over there, at the bakery getting baked goods. And so there's a strong chance that the good business owners of Merriwa will be able to lighten their wallets, but it is certainly not a fast charger.
Thank you, Councillor McGill. Councillor McPhee.
I have a concern about where it is. It's taking up 2 car parks in town. We want people to come, but we also want them to go quickly so more people can come. I just think that these things as well, by the time this technology comes in place, you'll have new technology, and I just think that we shouldn't be putting these down the main street. They should be like a fuel station. They should be off car parks, that's a street, and then there should be a designated area for that.
Thank you. Did that go through, Mr General, through the committee out there? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, we've got a move and a second. Any other speakers? Nope. All in favour? Is Councillor Collison, Williamson, Stoltz, Shields, Ryan, McGill, Fraser and Clout, and against is Councillor McPhee. The motion is carried. Over to page 85 is the policy for review. Mover, move Councillor Williamson, seconder. Councillor Shields, any questions, comment, discussion? Nope, all in favour? Against, carried. Over to page 93, the Merriwa RSL sub-branch donation of benches. Recommendation in front of you. Move Councillor Ryan, second Councillor McGill. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor McPhee.
These will be really handy for when they're waiting for their cars to get charged. They can sit on these chairs.
Any other speakers? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 97 is the report from the 2025 Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference. Got a mover, Councillor Shields, a seconder, Councillor Fraser. Councillor Shields, do you wish to speak?
Look, it's all there in writing, but I do want to draw Council's attention to the professional development workshop that I attended on the Sunday, Emerging Biosecurity Risks and Invasive Species. The big issue here is not if, but when. So we looked at 4 different biosecurity risks: imported red fire ants, foot and mouth disease, the polyphagous shot-hole borer, which is a problem in Perth at the moment, and the H5N1 strain of bird flu. And there were quite detailed presentations, and I think the point I was trying to make, or I have made, it was recommended that each of these threats be included in the Upper Hunter Shire Council's emergency management plan. Because to say that they're on the other side of the country, or they're in Queensland, or they're not here, is probably somewhat foolish. So I would just encourage Council to add those to the emergency management plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Shields. Any other speakers? Thank you, Councillor Shields, for attending, and sounds like you enjoyed it, so put your hand up next time. All in favour? Against? Carried. Okay, councillors, someone like to move us into closed? Council, move Councillor McGill, second Councillor Shields. All in favour? Against? Carried. Okay, you're welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, after we deal with the confidential.